Will study, you will learn each and everything very properly. I know that it is very difficult to learn everything, but if you got to know about what are mentioned in these lines and what is the meaning of that shloka, there is no need to learn them. You just experience these shlokas in your life. You just experience these shlokas whenever you treat anyone. Okay, so let's go with the Shishya Samhita first. We are doing Shishya Samhita Sutrasthan first chapter. So in the first chapter of Shishya Samhita, the name is Veda Utpatti Adhyaya. Okay, so what is the meaning of Veda Utpatti Adhyaya? So Shishya Samhita of Sutrasthan of Shishya Samhita consists of 40 chapters. Okay, and it is the highest number of chapters, like it is 46 chapters. And in first chapter, here they are mentioning about Veda Utpatti. Veda Utpatti itself means origin of any kind of Veda. Okay, so here we will learn about Ayurveda, how Ayurveda get originated. So in the starting of the chapter, we get about the Shushrut and the Dhanvantri. Who was Dhanvantri? So firstly, there is a Vimarsh on the first page of the Shishya Samhita, where they mentioned how Dhanvantri came into existence, and there we get 2-3 references that some says that in Vishnu Puran it is mentioned that they were originated when there was Amrit Manthan by gods and devils, and in a such manner some mention that Dhanvantri was Avatara, one of the rebirth origin of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. And then we have about Shishruta. Okay, so Shishruta, they have mentioned about the Dhanvantri's student Shishrutadi. So there they have mentioned in shloka there were 7 students. Okay, and then they mentioned in the last word of the shloka Shishrut Prabhritya. From that word we just considered it as the other students, other classmates of Shishrut. For example, there were 5 names: Bhoj, Nimi, Kankayan, Gargar and Galava. Okay, these 5 are along with the 7 names which are mentioned in the shloka. In shloka it is mentioned Avdhenav, Orbhar, Vekkaran, Posh Kalavat, Gopu Rakshit and Shishruta. So all these 7 names and plus 5 Prabhritya, Bhoj, Nimi, Kankayan, Gargya and Galava. So total students of Dhanvantri are considered to be 12 in number. Then after that we have their divisions. There are 8 limbs of Ayurveda according to Acharya Shishruta. So Acharya Charaka, Acharya Vagbhata and Acharya Shishruta, all of these acharyas mentioned Ayurveda in 8 limbs, and they were totally different. Only the Rasayan Vachikaran part was similar, but starting was different for everyone. For example, Charaka Acharya considered Kaya at first, and also Vagbhat considered Kaya at first. Then Shishruta Acharya considered Shalya at first. Okay, so he considered Shishruta Acharya Shalakya. Then he considered Kaya Chikitsa, and then Bhuta Vidya, Kamara Bhritya, then Agat Tantra, Rasayan and Vachikaran. So in this manner he arranged the 8 limbs of Ayurveda, we known as Ashtanga Ayurveda. Okay, so after that he explained one by one all these names, their definition of Shalya, Shalakya, Kaya Chikitsa, then Bhuta Vidya, Kamara Bhritya, Agat Tantra, Rasayan Tantra and Vachikaran. After that he mentioned about Ayurveda, and he said that Ayurveda is the upang of Atharvaveda. Okay, and it consists of 1 lakh shlokas. So Ayurveda में 1 lakh shlokas में divide किया है इसको, and then 1000 of chapters. So 1 lakh shlokas, 1000 of chapters, and it is the upang. Upang means subdivision of Atharvaveda. After that, in the Vimarsh, we get some reference about some of the acharyas considered Rig Veda as the main ang of Ayurveda. Like Ayurveda get originated from the Rig Veda also. Okay, so after that we have one important point here about that is Kashyapa. Kashyapa considered Ayurveda as the 5th Veda. So we have 4 Vedas over there, Samveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda and Rigveda. Then Ayurveda he considered as the 5th Veda. Okay, so he considered Ayurveda separately. Also the Daksh Prajapati, he also considered Ayurveda as a different independent Veda. After that we have definition of Vyadhi. So in Shusha Samhita, it is a very important reference. So it is said that Dukha Sanyogaha Vyadhihi. Okay. So after that we have Pariyojana of Ayurveda. So here he mentioned Vyadhi Upsrishta Nam Vyadhi Parimokshah Swastasya Swastharakshanam. So we had crammed the shlok that Swastasya Swastharakshanam Ayurveda Aturasya Vikar Prashmancha. So as in here he have mentioned that Vyadhi Upsrishta Nam Vyadhi Parimokshah Swastasya Swastharakshanam. After that we get about the Ayu definition. So he mentioned Ayu Rasman Vidyat Anen Ayurvedanti iti. Okay, so this is the reference, important reference, and this shlokas is given by Acharya Shushruta. After that he mentioned some of the factors and some of the important points in the first chapter of the Sutra Sthan. He mentioned about Chaturvid Bhutgram, Bij Chatushtay, Sthavarin, Jangam, Dravyas, and after that the most important part here is Swabhavik Vyadhiya. So in Shusha Samhita, 4 Vyadhis are considered to be very important: Sharirik, Mansik, Agantuj and Swabhavik. Okay, so for Sharirik Vyadhi we know Vata Pitta Kapha imbalance occurs and it causes you physically ill. Okay, it makes you physically ill, that is Sharirik Vyadhi. Then we have Mansik Vyadhi. So at mental level we have a Rajantaman doshas, and if they will get interfered, they will cause imbalance and there will be any kind of disease further. Then we have Agantuj Vyadhi. So any kind of injury, any kind of accident if we have met, it causes Agantuj Vyadhi wala part. Okay. Then we have Swabhavik Vyadhi. So Swabhavik Vyadhi means anything that occurs naturally. Everyone has this kind of Vyadhi. So Acharya Shushruta mentioned Shuddha Pipasa Jara Mrityuhu and Nidra as Swabhavik Vyadhi. So here we have a bit differentiation with the other acharyas, like Acharya Charaka mentioned only Jara and Mrityu as a Swabhavik Vyadhi, and Vagbhata considered Shuddha Pipasa Jara and Mrityu as Vyadhi. He didn't consider Nidra as the Swabhavik Vyadhi. So only Shushruta Acharya mentioned 5 kind of Swabhavik Vyadhis. Okay, so that these were Shuddha Pipasa Jara, Mrityu and Nidra. So in this chapter, whole and soul, we have only this kind of matter, and these all things are very much important. Other than this, we have one more important reference in this chapter is Prani Nam Gunar Mool Aharo Balvarna Ojasa. This is the reference of Shusha Samhita, chapter number 1, Sutra Sthan, and shloka number 36, and this is very much important. Okay, we get a reference of this shloka in PG entrance. Then we have another most important part here is divisions of this Shusha Samhita. So in the last shloka of first chapter Sutra Sthan, Shusha Samhita, it is mentioned that this Samhita consists of 120 chapters, 5 sthanas, and these sthanas were Sutra Sthan, Nidan Sthan, Sharir Sthan, Chikitsa Sthan and Kalp Sthan. Okay. So later on he said that we will be mentioning about other remaining topics in the Uttar Tantra. Okay. So in this way, first chapter of Sutra Sthan is very much lengthy, but we have very much important topics in it. So all those 4 points, Chaturvid Bhutgram, Chaturvid Bij Chatushtay and Chaturvid Vyadhi, all these are small points, but these are important because we forget about Chaturvid Bhutgram, whatever these Chaturvid Bhutgram, when we are going to just, there will be a lot of syllabus piled up. Okay. So this chapter needs a lot of revisions, and if you are just memorized this for one part, you will be remember it for all lifetime. And so yeah, so these parts were covered in Shusha Samhita Sutra Sthan first chapter. I hope you liked the video. I hope you revised